good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Today, we're going back behind my Spotify, but we're going to do our album review. I like doing these, they're fun. But also, I think it's important that I do these because the album reviews I'm doing, I think like two of them have been like albums I haven't liked. And then there's albums that like are not going to be on my album of the year. And those are albums I kind of want to review, and albums that, maybe didn't get, maybe I didn't talk about them, or, they should be talked about. And that's the whole reason why we're going to be talking about this album, which is Soul Elegy by Termina. So, for those who don't know, Termina is a project by Nick Nocturnal, which he's a metal YouTuber. I watch him all the time, but, I've always wanted to, his content's great. I think I started watching him when he did reactions, and then I kind of, reactions for me are kind of boring now. I don't, not always looking for reactions. So when he started doing, his own music projects, and I didn't know he did this stuff at all, I didn't know about Termina until this got announced, or at least this project got announced with Translucent. I had no idea he did other music projects. So this Nick Knock, even his original stuff he's doing now just under Nick Nocturnal is super cool. And then obviously the other artist that contributes to Termina is Andy Sizek of Monuments. I have his band in one of my playlists. Phenomenal vocalist. Dude can do any type of range, which is crazy. It's wild. And then also, it's not listed. Well, it probably is listed somewhere. It's just not. I don't know if it's credited. It might be. Okay, so yeah. So I don't know if Chris is full time on this band, if he's going to be working with them exclusively. But Chris Turner is also did the drums and everything for the drums for Soul Elegy. As far as I know, just this album, not the previous album that Termina had, but this album, I really wanted to talk about it because while, I don't think it's going to be on my album of the year because there's just so many albums coming out, and this was one of those I was just I'm not sure, right? But I do want to talk about it because it's a really good record, and there's I think there's only one or two things one or two negatives to this record. And I'll talk about it briefly, but let's talk about the positives first about this whole thing, because why not, So this first song, my favorite off the entire thing. I feel like no other song has come close to how Translucent sounds. It's just this phenomenal song. It's just great. I love it. I love it a lot. My mouse is going everywhere. But yeah, Translucent is the biggest, I think the biggest single off this. It dropped as a single, but it's the biggest song off the record. I mean, it's got the most plays on this, but that's not the reason I think it's not the reason it's my favorite. I think because it's a song I'm familiar with. It's catchy. It's just every time I play it, I know what song it is. But it's just a phenomenal song. It's the one song that was I'm going to pay attention to this project, because I think even if I knew about it, I still would have paid attention to it. But this song put me on the radar for, hey, I want to, listen to more of this. But with the rest of the record, I think Take Flight is the other single that got a million plays. I feel like if you drop singles, you're probably more guaranteed to get plays, but I don't know how it all works because I haven't dropped my own original music at all. But Take Flight, I think it's probably not my second favorite. I'd say it's probably my third favorite. If we had to go second favorites, it would definitely be I think it's Inside My Walls. I'm pretty sure that's my second favorite, because if you guys didn't see the video I posted of it, I made I'm making VGMVs again, which are video game music videos, and I basically put this in the background of some Destiny 2 cutscenes, because listening to this song gave me Destiny vibes. I don't know why. There was just so many of the lyrics kind of translate to like what goes on in Destiny, at least for what's going on currently in Destiny, in terms of its lore and story and all that. So when I heard the song, I was like, dude, it's so good. Like, it's a really, like, I like Inside My Walls, and then Take Flight is probably my third favorite. I think I know the other singles that dropped were Bathe in Solitude and Erase You. Not my favorites on here, but I think all of the other songs on this album are really good. Like, I listened to the entire thing, I think, once through. But I thought it was a phenomenal record. It was really good. Now, I will say, like, I don't really listen to Dysphoria, which is the last record, which has 0 features. It's just, but there's like, these songs have like 3 songs that have 1 million plays and everything. It's doing pretty good consistently. But I do think I have a couple of issues with the record. I think, like, probably the one thing is the amount of features on it. I think is like, because you don't need a ton of I feel like the first record had no features, right? I mean, that's, you know, I get that they wanted to change things up here, but like, there's so many features on this. Like, because obviously the first 2 singles that dropped, Take Flight and Translucent, had no features, just Andy and Nick, right? And then there's like Left to Suffer, Marcus, Bridge, Phil Bozeman, Joshua Travis, Sean Harmonis, Brand of Sacrifice, Saxel Rose, Jason Richardson, Noses Kill. There's just a lot of features on this album, and I feel like with their, you know, the first album being no features, this album being not pretty much all features. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 songs that don't have features on them, but my issue is, like, there's so many features. I feel like with the next record, it's gonna be like minimal features, and I think more like just Nick and Andy, I think, is how it's gonna work. I do also, before we get into my next point, I wouldn't say point, but like my next thing that I don't like about this record, well, not even don't like, but we'll get into it. But the one thing I really do like is Nick screams on this. I don't know, I think in Take Flight and Translucent, he's doing screams. I don't know about Inside My Walls. I think he might be doing screams in Parasocial. I'm not sure, but Nick is doing screams like on this record, and I think that's really cool. He's showing off his talent, and that's also with like Nick Knock, and he's just a talented dude, and it's cool to see him like contribute to the music other than just with like a guitar, you know. But my other point that I really like, it's more so I'm upset about it. There were CDs you could pre-order on like the Termina website, and now you can't buy anymore. I'm kind of, it's not even a thing like I don't like about the album. It's the fact that I can't get a CD, and I like to get CDs for like albums of the year and stuff like that. And it's not a reason why it's not my album of the year. I think like the albums I've picked are better than this, but I did like the record a lot. But the fact that I can't get a CD, like, because dude, I don't pre-order albums, because like, how are you gonna know if you're going to really like an album, right? Like, I can't just pre-order something thinking like, oh, I'm automatically gonna like it. Like, obviously Translucent hooked me in, same with Take Flight, and then Inside My Walls, but like, it's not gonna sell me on the record. I gotta hear the whole thing before I'm like, okay, this is good, this is really good. And it was a really good record. I did like it. I think just the amount of features, and then I don't know, I don't think any of the songs are forgettable. Maybe like, because I can remember Take Flight, Inside My Walls, Translucent. I think I can't remember Erase You, but I don't think I can remember Parasocial or Bathe in Solitude. If I can remember songs, like if songs are memorable, I think that makes a good record. Maybe that's another, we can throw that on as a negative, but if I did have to rate the album, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Like, there is nothing wrong with it if it's just like memorable or what memorability, I think that's what the word is, and the amount of features on here. I think like with the next record, they're probably gonna nail it. They're probably gonna have like more singles that are just Nick and Andy, and then like some features. But like this was completely features. But I'm hoping with the next record, like Chris is also on it. That would be really cool. But I don't know if that's gonna be the case. But yeah, this is a solid record. I do wish you could get a CD, but you can't. Because they're sold out on the website, and I don't think there's a way to actually get a CD anymore. So, but yeah, that's gonna be the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate it a ton. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.